As a current PMO, which for many of you not in the know means personally in, mentally out, going into the website jw.org, going to meetings, whether it's on Zoom or in person, you really can get your eyes open for several reasons. One of which is like now all the rhetoric that used to be spoon-fed to you now seems preposterous. It's hard to believe that you ever really even considered some of these things that we see here and all the things you hear. All these talking points that we, I guess, just grew to accept as fact now isn't. And there's a lot of reasons for that. One of which is the fact that you grow up your whole life believing that the quote-unquote truth is true. You take it for granted, and you just accept it. Every meeting, they go over, like, around more or less the same talking points, the same information. So, like, for example, that Armageddon's coming. It's the last days of the last days. Surely just on the last day of the last days, whatever governing body member Stephen Lance says. It's a crazy quote, but you just come to accept that at any point Armageddon is just around the corner. It is like it's gonna be like they say, a thief at night. No one knows the day it's gonna happen. And then, you believe that Jehovah's Witnesses, that your brothers and sisters are the only ones who are going to survive Armageddon, and that there's going to be a resurrection of the just and the unjust. So the just being Jehovah's Witnesses, the one doing quote-unquote God's will, and the unjust being those who didn't get a chance to get to know God. So all these things, this rhetoric, you're being spoon-fed your whole life, and you just listen to it, and your brain goes on autopilot, basically, listening to this stuff. And when you actually open your eyes and sit down and listen to this stuff, like actually listen, it kind of blows your mind. Like, it blows my mind. Like, it's crazy we ever believed in this. So, like, JW.org is the official website for the Jehovah's Witnesses. It is the way that it's basically like Catholics and their cross. JW.org. It is their symbol. We were taught our whole lives, to not worship an image, but I swear to God, JW.org has become the image of Jehovah's Witnesses and the organization. So if you when you go to the website, they've got this website. Hey, you gotta give props to where props is due. They have this website optimized to a T. It is very, very, like, for a religious site, this is top tier. So you go to the website, and the first articles that you see, the featured articles, are always ones that are right on point with current events. So, for example, we've been having the inflation here in America and all over the world for a while now, for a few months. And we know this is an issue that faces everyone. So you go to JW.org, and then what do you see? Like, when it comes to politics and the economy, which leader has God chosen? Is a fair economic system possible? Stress, diplomacy, and another one that people have talked about a lot is global warming and temperatures, record-breaking temperatures worldwide. So all this stuff is like catered. They say that they don't get involved in politics, but they're tiptoeing on these like political issues and acting as if the Bible has always spoken about it, like as a matter of fact. But we know those things are so out of context. Once you start seeing things for what they really are, it's kind of hard to unsee it. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and just take a look at this first article. Protect yourself from misinformation. And if there's anything we know, Jehovah's Witnesses are extremely misinformed. I mean, we really are. Forgive me if you hear that. It's my washing machine finishing up. But yes, so like all articles, they'll back it up with a few texts. But a lot of the stuff that you see here is stuff that we've talked about so many times and stuff that we've just come to believe. Even though it's not directly like stated in the Bible, it's just manipulated into a way to make it fit current events. So, for example, this first one, it asks the question, how can you protect yourself from misleading information and conspiracy theories? Consider some Bible principles that can help. Do not believe everything you see or hear. Now, right off the bat, that really hits close to home for this organization. They always say, basically, that their word is coming directly from God. That their message, their teachings, the Awake, the Watchtower, the Kingdom Life and Ministry, all this stuff, the school, all this, it comes from God. It's blessed by Holy Spirit. This isn't men's work. This is all for God, all for Jehovah. It uses a text, Proverbs 14:15. The naive person believes every word, but the shrewd one ponders each step. Now let's actually think about that. The naive person believes every word. In the organization, when they give you new light, you know, quote unquote new light, when they tell you, oh, they're cleaning up the teaching, they act as if this is like Jehovah's will, that he didn't give you the right answer to begin with. No, he apparently, you have to work your way little by little into getting those answers. It's insane. Like, you can use that for just about any teaching. Nothing is set in stone in the organization. Everything is subject to change. It says there in the paragraph, we can easily be deceived if we're not careful. Consider, for example, caption images or brief videos that are widely spread online, especially through social media. Such items, commonly called memes, are often to be meant to be humorous rather. However, images and video clips can be easily altered or taken out of context. People can even create videos of real people doing or saying things that they never did or said. So it sounds like they're talking about deepfakes in that last sentence, which I can't believe we live in a time and age where deepfakes is something that they're even considering. I wonder if there's like a deepfake of Brother Stephen Lett talking, not using every single facial muscle he has. Because my God, is that brother the Jim Carrey of the governing body, minus the likability. It says there too, I can't believe it says called memes. Like, wow, okay, they're using actually common lingo. I figured they would, you know, pussyfoot around it, but I guess not. Anyways, I know there are a lot of JW meme pages on the internet. So ones that are not only like spiritual, talking about the actual organization in a positive light, but also on the contrary as well, ones that talk about you know, the hypocrisy and how some of these things are so dumb, the things we believe in, and some of the rules that they make up. So they tell you not to take it out of context. Well, what's the context? The context is what they give you. The organization gives you the context, they make up problems, and then they're the only solution. That's their context. So, you ask yourself, is the content legitimate news or just a meme? So, whenever you're asking yourself, you know, is this CSA, is this shunning legitimate news, or is it just a meme? We did it for the meme. Okay, so evaluate the source and content. I've always thought that is interesting because when I was in MS, I would do assignments and I would thoroughly really make sure that all my sources were like reputable. I never gave a talk and then quoted like a Facebook page or a weird website. Everything was based off of like the CBC, PBS. I got it from universities and their studies. If I ever quoted, because I would do assignments like talking about real stuff, never crazy things. I felt very confident on when I gave a talk. So you gotta evaluate, according to them, the source and content, which I completely agree. When you're talking about misinformation, you do. But the organization, they consider themselves to be like the holiest of all sources. That when you're looking up something, don't go out there. Don't Google it. No. Use Watchtower Online Library. Use the Watchtower Library discs back in the day. Look up the wisdom books or whatever. You go to jw.org. So it says what the Bible says. Make sure of all things. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Before believing or forwarding a story, even one that is popular or repeated in the news, verify that it's true. How? Evaluate the reliability of the source. News media companies and other organizations may slant a story because of their commercial or political bias. Compare what you see in one news outlet with the other sources. Times friends inadvertently pass misinformation through email messages or social media posts. Therefore, do not trust a news item unless you can check the original source. This is true though. When a lot of times, depending on where you live, depending on your friend groups, you get messages from Facebook, and those are the most tripe, trash, conspiracy theory garbage I can think of. It is insane, the stuff that's spread around there like it's a fact, and in reality, it's just hogwash. It's insane. Continues, make sure that the content is current and accurate. Look for dates, verifiable facts, strong evidence to support what is being said. Be especially cautious of complex information. Seems to be oversimplified if the report is designed to evoke an emotional reaction. It has a quote here. Fact-checking now is probably becoming as important as hand-washing. Is man from a senior food safety nutrition officer for the UN? It's a random guy to put in your article. A food safety nutrition officer for the UN. Anyway, it is true. Fact-checking, very important. Organization themselves, when they're making articles and watchtowers and stuff, and they use a source that's not biblical, like it's a source from like a quote from a person, a scientist, or a religious scholar, they often take those things out of context, or they straight up use the quote and don't say who it's from, and instead use phrases like some scholars say, or some researchers say, or some scientists say. Sometimes they don't give you a straight answer. Ask yourself, does this news report blur the line between fact or opinion, or present only one side of the story? True. Be guided by facts and not personal preferences. If only witnesses understood what that meant, not only with misinformation, not only with news, but with their own rhetoric, with their own teachings, with their own biases. All this stuff is not guided by facts. The whole reason witnesses don't even have beards, for example, it is all out of a preference because of Rutherford. Has nothing to do with the Bible. More likely than not, almost all the men, if not most of the men in the Bible, had beards. It's just what it was. So what the Bible says. Whoever trusts in his own heart is stupid. All the GB is stupid. I'm just going to say that out loud. We tend to trust information that confirms what we want to believe. And internet companies often customize our news and social media feeds to offer us information based on our interests and browsing history. However, what we like to hear is not always what we want to hear, or what we need to hear. It's true. It tells us there to trust information that confirms, well, we tend to trust information that confirms what we want to believe. Now, they also, the teaching committee, governing body members, whatever, the organization themselves, they basically, without telling you directly, they basically tell you and discourage you to look at outside resources. They don't want you to Google any of the stuff the organization has done in the past. They want you to base your beliefs basically only on what they tell you. So it's interesting that they tell you these things that, yes, it's true. Look up your information. Make sure you're getting your news from real good sources that are backed by facts. But at the same time, they don't promote those same ideologies and those same ideals themselves. So the question, ask yourself, do I trust this information just because it is what I want to believe? So stop the spread of misinformation. What does the Bible say? Exodus 23:1. You must not spread a report that is not true. Remember that the information you share with others has the power to affect their thoughts and actions. Even if you unintentionally pass on wrong information, the consequences can be harmful. It is so ironic that they say consequences can be harmful at spreading misinformation when they not only unintentionally, they intentionally do that. If you go to JW, the app, or JW Library, the app, or the website, and you look up how your donations are being used, you'll see that they say, oh, we're building homes, helping construct halls, we're printing and creating literature. Nothing about CSA. Nothing about those dirty lawyers. Nothing about protecting the elders who are in these cases. Nothing about their secret files. Nothing. So ask yourself, am I sharing this information because I know it's true? You as a witness, probably your whole life, were encouraged to believe in what you considered was the truth. And I was also taught that you have to search for the truth. You have to search for facts. You believe it's the facts. You take it for granted that it is. Then you come to a realization that, just like this article says, don't trust everything that you hear on the news. You shouldn't trust everything that the governing body tells you. You shouldn't trust everything that this organization teaches. Because one day it's a teaching, and a few years from now, it's going to be new light that they change. Who knows what? How many times do they have to change the king of the north and the king of the south? How many times are they going to change these prophecies and apply it to them? It's hella convenient that these prophecies that the Bible talked about thousands of years ago not only fit part in the Old Testament and part of the New Testament, but apply to us nowadays in the 1900s with these group of people that were studying the Bible. It's insane. It's crazy. So the truth about conspiracy theories. What's a conspiracy theory? A conspiracy theory is a claim that sinister and powerful groups have secretly plotted to cause a significant or tragic event. Why are they dangerous? Conspiracy theories can undermine trust in legitimate sources of information, and some can cause people to reject health or safety advice. Such theories can promote prejudice and violence against the group thought to be involved in the conspiracy. Why are they so popular? Conspiracy theories increase in popularity during periods of widespread anxiety, uncertainty, or hardship. It's interesting too, now that actually I'm thinking about it, it's talking about like all this misinformation and conspiracy theories, knowing that Alex Jones just got like finished with his trial, for the Sandy Hook thing too. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, but we all know what we're talking about. So obviously this topic is in the news. They always put these articles like right when it's happening. It's so weird. So now all this talk about modern stuff, they always have to get back to the root of the solution, So that's why it's always at the end they give you your little golden nugget. How can the Bible help you to protect yourselves from conspiracy theories? The Bible offers practical advice that can help us control worry during stressful times. It reveals what is really behind the problems that exist, as well as those problems will be solved. To learn more, watch the video, Why Study the Bible. To learn more, Google the answers. Find the context of the scriptures, and don't believe all the lies that they tell you. In the same way you protect yourself from misinformation, protect yourself from jw.org and their misinformation. They will cater any text to the beliefs that they already have established. And they'll preach it to you as if it was fact. But we all know it isn't. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.